All right, so covering this in order, we have the Way of the Lion article, which came out not this week, but the week before last, or the week last week, and which they talked about the themes and showed us some of the cards. I think we've pretty much seen most of the card pool at this point. I'll be covering, just like I did with the crane, a card review of each card. So don't expect us to cover each card that in this article, but we'll be definitely going over some. So the article is actually a little bit more succinct than the crane one. They have two primary. They break it up into two primary themes. They show us a province, one of the province cards, and then they show us the clan champion. So the first theme, though, is strength in numbers, and they give us a couple cards here. They show us staging ground again, which is the +1, the holding that gives you +1 province strength. It has an action. Choose up the two face down cards in your provinces. Turn those chosen cards face up. They also they give us the obstinate recruit, which is the fake cost personality, 2 military skill, 0 political, 0 glory. If an opponent has more honorable, discard that character. And the last one that I thought was really interesting was the strength in numbers, because it was a really interesting event. It's a 1 fake cost event. Says action: while you are attacking player, choose a defending character with glory X or lower, move that character home. X is equal to the number of attacking characters. So the entire theme kind of seems to reside around swarminess and of course aggression, which is typical of the lion. And but they also kind of seem to be tapping into this ability to flood the board, or flip over their dynasty, the dynasty cards in their province, to be able to bring out more guys in a turn, or at least have more options. So, what do you?
That doesn't sound as nice to me as it sounds when you first look at it. Honestly, I mean, let's say my opponent's a lion player and he has flipped over all of his provinces.
Mhm.
Now I know where I'm attacking. You only have 7 fate a turn. You can't bring them all out.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's going to be definitely a decision point, right? Fate management, I think, especially with the lion, is going to be more about like choosing. Right now, one of the biggest the biggest questions is how much fate do you put on a personality? Because most of these personalities only really cost like 1 or 2, maybe at the highest 3 on the average, right?
Yeah.
So really, it's the extra fate that bites into that 7 fate that you receive a turn. So I think Lion is going to be about like bringing guys out and maybe not putting that fate on them, because they'll be able to accrue fate in other ways. And we do have a card here that shows us that. And we also, in the first preview article, they showed us, they had I can't remember the name of it was like a lion personality. It was a 1/1 lion personality that basically stays in play. That can't be removed from play if it has no fate on it, or can't have fate removed from it if you're 5 or higher honor than your opponent.
Hmm.
Right. So
Well, so they've gotten around the whole fate mechanic.
well, I think that there's conditional. I think they were really playing with the fate mechanic, just like you could expect. I think other clans will probably be able to do like Dragon, like where they can manipulate the actual currency of fate, whereas Lion has conditions that maybe keep them in play from time to time. But more or less, I think they're going to be spending less on their personalities as they bring them out. Like with this obstinate recruit, he's free. He's a free
Hmm.
character essentially for 2 military skill for nothing. And but if your opponent ever goes higher in honor, because it's a conditional effect, so if it ever happens any point in the game that your opponent goes higher and he's in play, then he'll immediately be discarded.
So
So,
in other words, if he's playing against a crab or or anything that isn't a crane or a phoenix, he's just going to stick around the entire game.
Well, that's not necessarily true either, I don't think. Right? I would say that keeps Lion from having to draw just massive amounts of cards. Because I remember your concern, whereas like gaining this honor is just going to give you more ability to draw, right?
Yeah.
And I think that acts as a check, really. That making those conditions, you know, that if you don't really want to go below honor, by drawing cards, to get more card advantage from your fate deck, because your power is really in your dynasty board presence. So you want to maintain that honored those honored conditions. You want to be sure you're drawing less as opposed to more. Because I really feel like people like Crab kind of have that are going to have different types of board advantage to keep that in check. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to have a Crab a Crab player have card advantage, because I have a feeling they're going to have higher quality people. Because this guy's cheap, but he's only 2 military skill. He has no actions on him.
What's his glory?
0.
Oh, okay, yeah, you can honor him all you want. It's not going to matter.
Yeah, I mean they do have guys with 1 or 2. Akoto Gunso, for instance, is a 2 glory. He's a 2 fate cost, 2 military skill, 1 political. Bushi. He has pride. After this character wins a conflict, honor it. After the character loses a conflict, dishonor it. And reaction: after this character enters play from a province, refill the province face up. So it's like much like staging ground. You're able to flip those dynasty provinces. But the action itself really doesn't have any effect on your opponent. It's just your military skill and your political skill. I actually think this guy's more worth it because of his political, but yeah, so overall, I think flooding the board can be dangerous to balance. Making the swarmy faction, they don't want to make those personalities too good, but I don't think they've really given him anything super proactive here, like super, like I'm gonna bow this guy, or I mean, they have a couple personalities like that, but not too many, not as many as even in the Crane, I think.
Yeah.
All
right. Well, I mean, I'll see what happens when I play against a Lion Clan player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
At this point, it's still just academic. It's not going to matter until you put deck against deck.
Yeah. There are some games for some people who want to check out maybe what the game might look like in actual practice, because most of the rules are known. These guys have put together a tabletop simulator with the card promos, all the card pool, because and they have a Lion versus Crane game. That's pretty interesting. It's an Imperial Visor podcast has put that together.
I did. I tried to sit through it.
Yeah.
Watching people play a card game has never been enjoyable for me.
Oh yeah.
Even if it's a card game I love.
It's a little like watching paint dry sometimes.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, the biggest problem is that the guys playing it were still trying to figure out a lot of the rules, because they were still working off an incomplete rule book.
Yeah.
And I remember watching the video, and if you haven't seen the video, go check it out. It's a good video, but be aware that you're watching people try to figure out what they're doing as well, and it can be kind of painful at the beginning, as you kind of like, okay, get on to the action, guys, get on to the action. Instead, the guys playing are talking about rules, because you need to know them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Once the rule book actually finally does drop, I mean, and the world is known, even then people are going to be figuring it out for months. Right, so like that's one of the things that I think a Swarm and Lion, when they first come out of the box, might be initially super strong, because everybody's like, oh, okay, well, I'll just bring out guys and that wins. But as soon as somebody figures out the nuances of the game, it takes months to do that, right? You have to really figure out the nuances of the strategies and develop really high-level strategies, right? Once people do that, Lion may actually see a little bit of weakness, because, like I said, most of their guys here, other than maintaining their board presence or bringing things back, which we'll get into here in a second, They really don't seem to be super proactive. So
I will say one thing about Lion. They are a really great clan for new players, aggressive new players. If you're a new player to any game and you like
mhm.
being aggressive, a Lion is a good deck to start with.
Yeah, and this seems like it's pretty much in that tradition. So far we haven't seen too many cards that are overly. I don't think any of the cards really have been overly complex. Like, they've been pretty straightforward. I like the design that they've been giving all the different, even Crane, right?
Well, to be fair, we haven't seen the three most complex clans yet.
True, true. We haven't seen. Oh, is it? We had Dragon, Scorpion, and Phoenix, right?
Oh yeah, Dragon, Scorpion, Phoenix.
Yeah.
I was playing with a guy up in Fairbanks who loved the Phoenix, and his
hmm
biggest complaint with the Phoenix was too many moving parts.
Yeah, that was always the problem. I think they'll still be kind of like that,
And
to be honest.
Lion have never had that problem.
I think Scorpion's probably going to be the most difficult to play. Like, even though it
Even though
has,
Scorpion seems to be one of those bandwagon clans. Like everybody wants to play the bad guy, and Scorpion is like the only option.
it's like Dark
So for
Jedi or
those
something.
people who want to play the bad guy, but then they're going to discover very quickly that unless you are an incredibly savvy player, you're going to get rolled quite often.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes a lot of skill playing Scorpion decks, and I think that will also continue to be the case. I don't know. Like, I'm afraid that if they're too easy to play, if they're too easy to play, they're going to be very scary. Because Dishonor in this game seems to be a pretty powerful mechanic. Like, because it
I
not only.
wouldn't I wouldn't mind them being easier because they were always really difficult. Being a new player and wanting to play Scorpion was a really big, really tough learning curve.
Mhm. Well, that and they had more rares than anything else. Like, because that
Yeah.
was the collectible thing, the aspect of the game. Like, I found that when I went to go make a Scorpion deck, because I wanted to play Scorpion because nobody in our meta played Scorpion, and I wanted to play against them. I wanted to be able to beat them in tournaments, so I was like, sure, I'll start playing Scorpion. And rares were a huge issue with them. All the clans for the decks were rare cards, so it was a little difficult to collect for
Not
them.
not a problem anymore.
Yeah, that's a great thing. That's one good thing. So, all right, going on to their second um, theme here, we have Brave Warriors, which is basically them being aggressive. I mean, let's kind of put simply, and they give us some cards. They give us For the Greater Glory, one fate cost event conflict card that says reaction after you break a province during a military conflict, take one fate on each participating Bushi character you control, or place one fate on each participating Bushi character you control. Um, so again, a conditional fate economy, which I like. I
Mhm.
like the fact that you have to do something in order to get that economy card. Right? It's not just like you draw the card, take 3 fate. I do like that. They have to actually break the province, right? Which is obviously not going to be terribly difficult for them to do, but it still can be an issue, right? Your opponent can deny you that fate. So, and they also give us Sashimono. So in the old game, there was a card called Rallying Cry, right, which didn't, and then they later made it Spearhead, which basically didn't allow your guys to be, or didn't bow your guys after combat, so you can keep
Yeah, I
one for
remember it.
defense.
I
Yeah.
remember hating it.
So now it's a 2 cost attachment, or at least this is the first version of this effect we've seen. A 2 cost fake cost attachment item banner may attaches to a Bushi character you control. Attached character does not bow as a result of conflict resolution during military conflicts. So it's basically a more permanent version of Spearhead that from the old game, to use old game terms. But in this game, I think it will play a different role because even though you still need guys for defense, you're gonna want to get as many attacks in. So with those, with those political characters, if the characters have political skill, like that's actually pretty cool because you can slap that on a guy who has reasonable political skill and then attack with him on your second attack. So, what do you think about
Yeah,
that?
I think it's nice. I think it's nice that it's an attachment now instead of an event.
Hmm.
Um,
I love
it's not
the.
a surprise. It sticks around longer, but it's no longer a surprise. Like I, as the defending player, can see that coming and then plan accordingly. It's not something my opponent played
Mhm.
last minute, and now I've got to completely regroup my strategy. It allows me to know ahead of time what's coming, what's going on. It's going to stick around for a few more turns. It's going to happen a couple more times, but it works for me.
Yeah. I think one of the more interesting cards that they showed us, and really kind of one of the themes along with that was the Kitsu Spirit Caller. Well, they show us two. They show us an attachment, and they show us the personality. So they have the attachment, which is Guardian of the Ancestors. It's a one fate cost attachment, plus one military skill, plus one political skill. Condition: play this attachment from your conflict discard pile. So it's basically an attachment that sticks around. It's also one influence, so it's completely splashable. And Kitsu Spirit Caller, which is a 3 fate cost lion personality, 1 military skill, 3 political skill, 2 glory, Shikenja water traded, and as action during a conflict, battle this character, choose a character in one of your discard piles, put that character into play during the conflict. If that character is still in play at the end of the conflict, return to the bottom of the deck. So, recursion.
Ow!
Yeah. They're giving Lion.
Ow!
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't say pay for that guy again.
Well, he's only into for the conflict, the one conflict. So I'd imagine.
Still, I mean, if last turn you had to discard a Kodo Toturi and this guy comes out into play and you bring him in and bow him, and next thing you know, I got to face Toturi again.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
even if
really.
it's one turn.
Yeah, yeah. But he also needs to be bowed to do that, so you can bow him. There are things that
Then
you
you
can
can
do.
unbow him. There's ways to unbow him, sure.
Oh yeah, there are definitely. But that's also like the decision point, right? I like the fact that they're giving the Kitsu a better mechanic to frame up their spirit, their ancestor, like better theme within the mechanics, right? Because I didn't like the Kitsu deck that made all the personalities. That was basically just breeder light from the old game. Where they made thousands of thousands of these spirit ancestor personalities. I like the fact that they're actually giving them something that's still pretty potent. Obviously, I don't like the attachment. I think the attachment's garbage. It's just a +1/+1, and it takes a fate slot for a fate. Yeah, it comes back, but why do I want garbage to come back? Right. Um, that's my thoughts on it. +1 political skill is probably the only benefit off of that, I think. But I like this idea of being able to recur personalities even for a temporary time. Right, being a part of the Kitsu. I think that's a great piece of their pie. So, picking up where we left off. Oh, so we just got done finished with the. Let me pull back here. All right, so yeah, Kitsu recursion. I think it's a good thing, good mechanic, piece of the pie for them to have. As far as the effects and everything like that. Was there anything that you wanted to add before we moved on to the clan champ?
No, no, I'm good there. I haven't seen the clan champion yet.
Oh, you haven't.
No, it's been kind of a week for me.
Oh, wow. All right. So I'm gonna blow your mind here.
Oh dear Lord, no.
All right. First, I'm gonna talk about the province, though, because I
All right,
actually
what do you
think
got
the
for me?
province is really good. Uh, the Art of War. It's a 3 strength province and has interrupt. When this province is broken, draw 3 cards.
Huh.
I know, right? So even if you attack Lion and you get away with it, you're not really getting away with it. Because I imagine 3 cards is going to be pretty potent, right? Like that's a lot of cards in this game. So
It's
far we've
it's it's 3 honor.
Oh yeah, that's 3 honor. You could potentially bid. So far we've only seen game effects that have been one card at a time,
Hmm.
right? And even that conditionally. This for a province card is really good, really good. Yeah, I love the art too.
Unless you save it for the fourth one.
Yeah, this probably won't go onto the
Hey, you save it
strongholds.
for the last, that'd be.
Yeah. All
Even
right.
then, you can completely ignore it. Well, no, because you don't see what they are until after you've attacked.
Yeah, that's when they get revealed. But you can not break it at that point too.
Yeah.
You can do things to prevent it.
Well,
But
if you don't break it, isn't there consequence for not breaking a province?
I'm not sure. That has been hinted at. Not defending and not breaking provinces. We still don't know if there's any consequences for that. We've been told that there's consequences for not defending,
Hmm.
though. So I would assume
I
that
think you lose an
maybe,
honor.
yeah. Well, we shall see how this really shakes out. But still, I think that's a really powerful effect for tempo. Because if,
Hmm.
sometimes you don't get your the proper draws, you just don't start that quickly. Um, yeah, I think this is good. Good stuff. Okay, so Akoto Toturi, the clan champion. Me. All right, so he is a unique five fake cost
Oh
character.
dear.
Yeah,
Well, of course.
six
Same
military
as the last
skill.
champion.
Yeah, six military skill. Three
Hmm.
three political skill. Three glory. Bushi champion reaction after you claim a ring during a military conflict in which this character is participating, resolve that ring's effect. He's the opposite
All right,
of
so
Hotoru.
hello. So we're looking at an honored Taturi having a military skill of 9 and a political skill of 6.
Yeah, if he's honored.
With if he's honored, with which why wouldn't he be? You're lying. Honor him. With really, I'll just take this ring now. Thank you. Ow!
Yeah, yeah.
Ow! Kill it! Kill it! Kill it with fire!
I was a little disappointed though. Like I'll say that, not because of the power roll. He's certainly a powerful card, and I'm glad that he's not over powerful. If that makes any sense, because I don't think he's overpowered. But
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed that he didn't have a little bit more unique effect. He's just literally the opposite of Hotoru. That's like, I don't
What was
know,
her What was her ability again? I don't remember.
same ability but for political conflicts. So
Oh.
she has three political, three military, six political, three glory, and she said after you claim a ring in a political conflict, resolve that ring's effect.
Well, I hate to say it, but them being the complete opposite makes perfect sense considering their clans. The
Yeah.
crab and the unicorn. I can't even say my clans properly. The lion and the crane are best known for being each other's opposite,
Hmm. And enemies,
which
the feud.
means and enemies, which means that particular theme. Yeah, it's kind of lazy writing. I'm not gonna lie, but it's not so lazy. Makes sense.
Yeah. I just
Yeah, it's
wanted
lazy writing.
I wanted a unique effect. I wanted something awesome, like something awesome, unique, and mind blowing. But
Hmm.
that was just me. Other than that, I think he's really good. He's super good. He's you know uh, got
You know,
everything
it
I
would
think.
be
Hmm?
you know, it would be a great effect for him
What?
if he was a rallying cry.
Oh, he himself. That I
He
think that.
himself.
Oh my God, I think that'd be a little
That
strong, too strong.
well, that would be perfect for him though. Any samurai that join him in a battle, if the province is broken, they do not
Mhm.
bow.
We don't know if they're
They
gonna
have to win.
we don't know if they're gonna produce experienced versions of these characters too. So,
Yeah.
and they've done it in Game of Thrones. They've printed, updated where updated versions of characters um, in Game of Thrones. So, I mean, I don't really see any reason why they wouldn't. So maybe later on that would be an effect that he has in his pool. For a core set, I guess
Yeah.
it's fine. He's pretty much on a good. He's on a good level. I think that's the best thing I like about him, is that he's not overpowered. He's not weak sauce. You know what I mean? You still have to watch yourself when you get around that 20 honor mark, though, because he can
Mhm.
definitely swing him over, because you're gonna be able to gain what, 4 honor by winning the air ring twice, right? Or but that's also, you can deny the air ring from your opponent in order for him not to receive that. But yeah, I think he's good. He's good. So, well, honestly, overall, I think the lion is a little like I'm super excited to have my cards now. I can look at them and you
I'm
know.
starting to think, what if they do that with all the champions? All the champions affect a ring doing what they do best. Like the complete opposite of the lion would be crab, where their Hida Kasada can immediately affect a ring can immediately affect Kasada when he's defending a province in a military victory.
Oh yeah, when he's defending a province, he can trigger an air ring or a ring twice or something. Or
I mean, the unicorn one could be, when you move your champion from one battle to another, you can immediately, I mean, I think that might just be the theme with the champions at this point.
is this the
I mean, we've only
epitome?
seen two, so
Mhm.
yeah, I'm working on incomplete data. We've only seen two, but it's kind of an interesting idea.
I think once we start seeing the third or fourth champions, we'll have a pretty good picture of where their design perspective is with the champion characters or the big high cost, you know,
Yeah,
characters. I think it's great that they put this symmetry in there, especially with the high honor clans, because now you have pretty much a definitive picture of what the end game, not definitive, but you have a good picture of what the end game is going to look like for an honor clan, because of their abilities, because of what we know off the rings, and what we could see that they can do.
yeah,
So we have a stronger picture of how honor is going to be played, and on both the lion and the crane, both of the two highest honor clans, typically. Although not lion's not typically the honor runner, but they do use like a switchy sort of style. So yeah, I like it. Good stuff. Okay.
yeah.